Welcome back to the Realist Reviews. Today's movie is focused on 2021's Wrath of Man. And the official synopsis of this movie is: mysterious and wild-eyed, a new security guard for a cash truck surprises his co-workers when he unleashes precision skills during a heist. The crew is left wondering who he is and where he came from. Soon, the marksman's ultimate motive becomes clear as he takes dramatic and irreversible steps to settle a score. This movie was interesting and pretty good to watch. Definitely had a lot of action, and for most of it, it was pretty good. I would say maybe after the first half of the movie, like the second and like somewhere in the third act, the movie starts to suffer for me, but still a good movie nonetheless. Here is my review on the matter. What I enjoyed first and foremost about this movie will have to be the action. With this movie, there was a lot of different action scenes in this movie that were typical. It wasn't anything extremely out of the ordinary, nothing new, nothing extremely shocking, but just your typical action scenes and just typical stuff that was pretty good. It was good action scenes in this movie. I enjoyed Jason Statham's character in this movie as H because he plays a good character. Like in the very beginning, I just thought that H was just like a typical man that just likes to keep it to himself. But as the movie kept going forward and we start to learn more about H, then I was like, dang, I couldn't believe H is really like that. But what I later see is that H is a really powerful man that has a lot of ties to very important people. And I just felt that Jason Statham's character was pretty good throughout the entire movie. Yeah, he does a little bit too much sometimes, but it's nothing extremely bad to the point where I was like, yo, this man is going way too far. As for the other characters and for the other actors, they did a good job as well. Now, what I did not like about this movie would probably have to be maybe the pacing of this movie. Don't get me wrong, this is a good movie. I would say like the very first half of the movie before the son gets killed and everything, it's pretty good. You have some action here and there, but it was pretty good. But I would say after the son gets killed and Jason Statham tries to figure out who did this and why this happened, that is where the movie starts to lose it for me. I don't know if they try to like put in too much or just too many like different plots and storylines, but because of that, that movie definitely did hurt it for me a little bit. Like I was like, what's this? What's that? Like I was still following the movie, but at the same time, it was somewhat hard to like understand and like get with the different mini plots they had, such as the different people setting up robberies and everything, and just the events leading to the actual killing. As for the person who was responsible for everything, including Jason Statham's son's death, I would say that his villain was not that special. Yeah, he has some of his reasons as to why he did it, but at the same time, he really wasn't anything interesting. He wasn't nothing extremely shocking. He wasn't anything extremely horrible. But at the same time, the main person responsible for all this happening was really nothing special, to say the least, in my opinion. But despite the pacing issues and the villain, like the main protagonist who's responsible, not being all that, this movie was still good, as the action scenes definitely saved it, and just the mysteriousness of H also just made this movie just a cool movie to watch. But out of all, how I would give Wrath of Man out of 5 stars, I would probably give Wrath of Man 3.5 stars out of 5. This is the end of my review. Thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.